Hello, my name is Tiffany. Welcome to my home. I am the diary maker behind Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can find me on Etsy at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com and on Instagram. So today I have started a few projects this week that I wanted to go over, and I'll follow up with my socks from last week, so we'll start there. Again, this is a pattern that I'm just throwing together. I knit socks fairly frequently. I always have a pair on the needles, so I have my toe that I normally do, and then I'm doing a slip stitch pattern up the foot and onto the leg of the sock. I've put in the heel on both of my socks, and I've started the leg of the sock, and I'm almost to the cuff. So I usually knit to the toe and then start my cuff. So that's kind of where I'm at with these ones. I am knitting 2 at a time on double pointed needles. So I usually knit, and I think I mentioned this last time, I usually knit about 1 inch on one, and then I pick up and knit 1 inch on the other, so they're about the same. They're about the same. They'll be finished roughly the same amount of time. So those are my socks. I also cast on a hot water bottle cover, which most hot water bottles come with a cover, and this one did, but over time it got a little rough, so I thought I'll knit a different one for it. So this is what it looks like. The yarn I am using is a cotton yarn that I got at Joann Fabrics last year or so. I like cotton from the standpoint that it's pretty durable. So this is where I'm at. I am probably about halfway done. It's going pretty fast. I started it earlier this week, probably Monday or so. But then I'm also knitting on my socks as well. So I hope to have this done by next week. Now, also this week, I did a spinning project. My husband and I went to our local yarn shop, which also happens, they don't just have yarn, they have fibers that you can buy also to spin, and they're pretty big into spinning as well. So I bought a mystery bag. I didn't know what was in there, so that was kind of fun. Turns out it was this green yarn, and I also got a purple. So the wool is green, and then it also has neps in there of different colored wool, so it helps. That makes it a tweed yarn. So this was fun. I spun it pretty small, although the neps in it were a little difficult to pull out and elongate, so they would get clumped together and create a bigger spot. So overall, the yarn that I created out of this is about an worsted to Aran weight yarn. And so I spun it pretty thin, and then I chain plied it back on itself to create the weight that I wanted, which is Aran to worsted weight. And I hope to make a hat for Hudson, my son, with it. So that's all I've been working on as far as knitting goes. But as you know, I have opened a natural dye shop where I am dyeing yarn with natural products, botanical products, plant-based products. So I have a few of those that I wanted to show you. And then there's also a project that my husband was working on for me that will kind of go into this as well. So First off, I have, this was dyed with sappanwood. This is on my worsted base. This is on my fine organic worsted base, and put it in an iron afterbath, and it created this lovely gray color out of sappanwood. And then with that, I had some color left over, and I don't like color to go to waste. So I threw in to that, as a second bath, some fingering weight superwash, and it came out this lovely, still gray, but it is definitely paler than this worsted. So, but I was able to use up all of the color and get multiple skeins dyed that way. There is another example of that as well, and that is with again, my fine organic worsted weight yarn. I dyed with lac, which is a red. It was very challenging to get red, and I had to modify it several different times with acidic substance, which is a natural kitchen product. And I got this lovely shade of red. Was really happy and surprised with how it came out. So there was color left over in this pot as well. So I used, again, the same base as this light gray. It's a fingering weight superwash with nylon. And yeah, I got from this color, I got this color. So it was fun to see what would happen. Obviously, it's always going to be a little bit lighter because most of the dye went into the first batch, but it's fun to see what you get in the second batch because it's a little unknown. And this is more peachy, which is great. I like it a lot, and I would love a pair of socks out of this. So I'm a sock person. I love to knit socks in different patterns and things like that. So this is a great color. So those are two examples of using the leftover dye in the pot to dye other skeins. Maybe not exactly what you want, but you do get something pleasant out of it, which is kind of fun. So similarly, this is buckthorn. And buckthorn dyes with yellow. You get yellow typically. So in order to change the color from yellow to this beautiful green, you put it in a bath after you've dyed it of iron and let it sit until it changes to the color that you want. And when I got this color, I was thrilled. I love this color. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I wish I could keep it. But I will probably have to dye some up for myself one of these days soon. So this was dyed with the buckthorn again, and then in an afterbath. And this is on fingering weight, superwash and nylon together. So it's a beautiful color. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. This was dyed with sappanwood, and then it was put into a bath of iron where it changed the color from one color to another, which was this gray. So this is on my oh, that's interesting. Oh my goodness. I cannot keep it all straight. Okay.